when Joshua, Kamon, Fatai are no longer interested in learning any trade? Are we sitting on a time bomb? This is one of the areas we're looking at on this morning's edition of the Situation Room. Also, there's no doubt about the fact that as a nation, one of the biggest challenges we are facing is in the area of housing. When you look at the cost of rent now, then you also weigh the nuclear option. People wanting to build their own homes. Cost of land, massive. So if you build a house, from blocks to cement, so even the workers, the laborers, the bricklayers, the engineers, everything seems to have gone sky roof. The point here this morning is this. Young man, listen to me this morning, who maybe a fresh graduate, want to start afresh. Young couple, they just got married. They are listening to me this morning. And they are like, okay, how do we start? 2-bedroom, self-contained. Or do we begin to build our own house? The limitations that Nigerians are facing when it comes to issue of rent and the cost of building houses. It's been said that if you're on this planet, if animals could have a burrow, if animals could create a nest for them to put their eggs in, as human beings, we shouldn't leave this planet without having a home, if we can. But the reality of our time also suggests challenges at all levels. Those are the issues we'll be looking at as far as this morning's edition of the Situation Room is concerned. I have two Omawis who are already live in the studio, Dr. Oyebade Yudipo, and the financial analyst, and of course, Dr. Duru Ogunsesan from the Polytechnic Ibadan. Gentlemen, happy Monday, happy new week. Welcome to the Situation Room.
Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, Nigerians. I also wish you a very fruitful week, and ditto to every one of us, wherever they are, listening to us from.
I extend my greetings to everybody, wherever we are. This is a critical situation in our society now. The two areas mentioned this morning. God's willing, we'll see how far we can go within the period allocated for this program, at least to educate and to appeal to people concerned. Thank you.
So, gentlemen, let's start from where are the Kamons, where are the Joshuas, where are the Ramonis that we used to see 20, 30 years ago when you visit mechanic villages, young people who are hoping to become an oga on their own. There's this guy, I don't know whether he's listening to me this morning. His name is Nii. Nii is today the official mechanic of Dr. Onyeka Ayifele. I got to know Nii 1997, 1998, when I bought my first car, a Toyota Celica Supra. And I remember I have to take the car to Adeoyo because I was told there was a man there who was very good when it comes to Toyota. The man is late now. His name, Mr. Ahmed. And I remember Nii was under him that time. Ahmed, God-fearing man for a mechanic. His yes is yes. His no is no. This thing is bad. Hello, change it. This thing, no, we can still do this. And I remember it got to at that point in time when I come in for little work. We will call the Nii of this work. Hello, Joe, hello, she bye. What am I driving at? Today, the man is late anyway. He died more than 15, 20 years ago. But the likes of Nii who got trained under him. Today, they are not big organs on their own. That has been the succession plan. When you look at this issue of apprenticeship, you sacrifice, you spend quality time, you learn. In fact, sometimes it can be very harsh because I've seen them beat up any of them when they misbehave or when they don't do what is right. I've been told that was also part of the process of making them a better person moving forward. But as we speak today, most of those crafts, most of those jobs that need specialty in terms of training, which means we have to learn on the job, one way or the other. It does appear the globalization and this era of ICT seem to have made today's youth not to begin to have so much interest in that area. Painting, if you're a painter, have a very fantastic job. You still see old people still painting because young ones don't want to learn. So what do we need to do as a nation, as the generation of all these old men that have gone through the system, who are looking to pass it on, but young people are not interested? Let's start with Dr. Yebade Oyedepo.
It's a very germane topic we are examining today. Let's look at it from two different perspectives. One, energy sapping. A lot of our youth don't want to engage in any job, that is energy sapping. No, they don't. They just want to sit down and make quick money. And that will not help them. We are using this opportunity to appeal to them that there is nothing enduring as skill acquisition. You must have a skill, to be able to make enduring returns.
It used to be a noble thing. Brown,
yes.
Lokoshe,
Yes.
Lagbaja, Lokoshe, bye. Way back.
Growing up, that's what we learn. If you are unable to go to school, you must have a skill. But now it's different. Then the second one is economy. A lot of people now want quick returns, quick money. Unfortunately, their parents are also not helping them. The skill we are talking about takes time. It may be 3 years, 4 years to acquire it. How many of them, want to spend even up to 1 year before making, huge money that we are talking about?
Ekoshe rewire, Ekoshe mechanic, Ekoshe welder.
So
Ekoshe agbede.
yes. So
You only see old people there now.
like
The younger ones are not coming up.
and even our politicians are not helping matters. The moment our politicians want to empower, they won't tell them to go and acquire that kind of skill. They will rather give them money to buy Okada or buy Okada for them. So a lot of them are motivated into those kind of a business.
Quick fix.
And it is not going to help us in this nation. In a situation where we are having a gap, wide gap between gown and town, and we don't have those kind of apprentices that can fill the gap. We are sitting on a keg of gunpowder.
Strong word from Dr. Yebade. Let me go to the technical man who is also in the house from Ile-Eko Gbogbonse. I know, you've been visiting mechanic workshop for years, and you probably, already, in the know of what we are talking about. This gap between those generations that are almost living now and the new generation that is supposed to take over and serve as the bridge, and the gulf that we are seeing physically, especially when it comes to Ishowo, so-called crafts and vocations.
Yes, thank you. In those days, they are talking about, there are two basic ways that one can acquire this skill. You mentioned technical college of those days. You remember technical college at Awe those days, and that of Ibadan here. Then I think there is one in Gora, Ushugbo, all along like that. We have quite a lot of our colleagues, brothers, sisters, that went to these technical colleges, either to study carpentry and joinery, or to spend the bricklaying and things like that. And they excel when it comes to practical, because then there are lots of equipment for them to train these guys then in those schools. Those that are teaching them then, they have a very wide experience how to train these young guys. And by then, they were certificated. I have certificate of so, and on the other hand, they have this kind of trade tests certificates to join with the certificate, getting from the technical institutions. The second aspect is, while also the Baba Wabi go and learn carpentry or whatever, or Lodo Boda Joshua, or Momo Lodo Boda Joshua,
yes,
mechanic or auto panel or this or that in those days. Spending 3-4 years before you can get freedom. And with the certificate to show from the hoodman kind of. But the fact, like Dr. Oyedepo said, the social terrain we are having today does not even encourage these young guys to go into that area. Every parent wants his kid to go to university. No matter what is happening there, because we're so concerned about certificate in this part of the world. Everything is certificate. You know better, Mayor sir.
Yes.
You know better that some of these expatriates we are talking about in construction companies in Nigeria today, they are not graduates. So I have the opportunity of being engaged with, this one of these water engineering firm in Akure far back 1992. My brother that took me to that company then had a master's degree in civil engineering water option. Was former lecturer at the Polytechnic there, but crossed to private sector. And the guys that are heads of this company, Tahal, they have technical certificate, and they are the heads. But another aspect, every parent that wants certificate, my son is so university, Kinikan University. Even they've counted Polytechnic today as second hurdle of training institutions. That is the fact. Whereas if you want the real technical skill or experience or knowledge, those days, go to Polytechnic. In my own profession, which Dr. Bayo Depo knew very well, because we have been together at the Association of Professional Bodies of Oyo State. In my own profession, town planning, if you go to planning agencies under the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development today in Oyo State, bulk of them are Polytechnic graduates. And that cut across other states, especially in the Southwest here. You understand? But nowadays, one, these guys are lazy. They don't want to pass through that rigor like Dr. Oyedepo said. They are lazy. They want quick things. And that's why you see a girl of SS2 or SS3 or at most 100 level in the university or ND1, ND2 looking towards having a beautiful or luxury cars.
At a tender age, right?
At tender age. You remember the age that you graduated from the Polytechnic, from Mass Communication Department. You never thought then of say, within 1 or 2 years, I want to live a luxury life. No. You focus the career first, Abi. So that is the problem we are having in society today. To summarize it, is that these young guys are not ready to learn this trade. One, especially the building industry. Like you said in the introductory part of this program, there's no, if you want good job today, especially as building construction is concerned, you better go to neighboring our neighbors, Benin Republic or whatever, and hire them. You get what I'm saying? That was a time my senior brother has to hire from Ghana the guys that were making this wood for ceiling to complete his project at the saw you were here. From this guy came from Ghana. You can imagine what the expenses will be for you to go and hire from Ghana. You understand that? So, what they appeal, like I said, a kind of appeal on education. I want to appeal to parents to please put their kids in the right way of being useful to themselves. Anyway, today, if you have BSc, MSc, BTech, whatever, HND, you go outside Nigeria to European countries, you can't find the job you think you are trained in our institutions here. Yes or no? That is the bitter truth. But if you are able to have a skill, especially in the construction industry or in agriculture or in this automobile or technical thing, you'll be fit in.
Do you also
To that
observe that
extent.
when you visit most building sites now, the carpenters you see are still these old babas?
Yes,
Yes.
they
You
are.
know, these old babas.
You know, it's my trade too. You see them. In fact,
Are we filling
I'm
up-
sorry, I don't
are we
have
bridging that generation
money
when
to
they
pay
leave?
for advertisement here. A group had established a vocation center for this construction industry, artisans. Sir, in the last 2 years, they've only graduated loaded 22 or thereabout.
Wọ́n fẹ́ kọ́ṣẹ́ mọ́.
Yeah, they don't want to come down. And this center had equipment to train at least 8 trades in construction industry.
Was it not last week that I saw that the federal government was contemplating
Is it,
scrapping,
TVET?
the school charges for enrollment
technical,
into technical
technical
colleges.
colleges.
Do you think that is an incentive?
Of course, it is. It is.
It-
If
it-
people are ready to key into it.
But we all agree now that there are 2 ways to it. You can go through via formal line, get certificated by going to all these technical colleges. I think there are conversations around the likelihood of elevating the School of Surveying in Oyo
Yes.
to a university. Some of these technical colleges, even including the Polytechnic. But what we also know that has been a big buffer, when it comes to producing these competent hands. I've always been what Dr. Duro suggested earlier. Àbúrò mi wá lọ sọ́dọ̀ Dr. Yebadi Oyedepo lọ́mọ kọ́ṣẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ wọn. Wọ́n ń ṣe carpenter. Ẹ bá mi train ẹ̀. Bye. I mean, that informal setting where people get involved with individuals who are already on the field and they get to learn. And eventually they are trained. In fact, I've seen a pattern where after learning, after completing those so-called years, their guys will still retain them. You heard them say, multi free, at freedom,
Johnny Man,
but
yes.
at ni shop tiwa ni. So ọ̀gá lèmi náà, I'm also working with my ọ̀gá, and he's giving some level of freedom. And then when the time comes, he comes to tell you that look, mo ti rí ibì kan, èmi náà ti di ọ̀gá. That's always been that pattern. But now, that bridge, that replacement, withering away.
Like Dr. Duro said, there is nothing as much as giving opportunity to the youth to learn, skill
Or trade.
particularly motivating them, going to technical colleges.
Somebody is saying it's like plumbers are going to extinctions now.
Yes, motivating them to go into technical colleges. But in addition to that, we have to rejig that of university education, balancing it, with the practical knowledge. I want to give a simple instance. If somebody graduates from the university and studied mechanical engineering, how many of them can actually work on their, automobile?
No, they have to call it fatai.
They have
If
to call it
if their
fatai.
vehicle breaks down.
Incidentally, you are talking to.
Fatai, come here.
Incidentally, you are talking to Fatai because my name is Fatai. So.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. You've been trying to call us. Good morning.
Yes, sir. I don't know you.
Hello, okay, but please go ahead.
So, we have to balance it in such a way that these people can actually, practice the profession they learn in the university, in their own personal car. If their own personal car has issues, they will go to a Fatai in the workshop to fix it for them. It's as bad as that. So if you are having that kind of deficit, and that's why I said there is a gap between the gown and the town.
But again, back to the informal sector, where people acquire skill, where people get to understand this idea that we already have it there. The gown, have their issue, but in town, there's a succession process. Yes. People learn. Apprenticeship, very key. People who are still building houses will still say, Vincent, Tani, Baba, Talobeje, plumber to Lule, Baba plumber ni. That Baba, he's been there for years. When you say Baba, I want to Romoche. Because I'm more. You don't have to write, I want more see. One, do more. I mean, those are the challenges the town is even facing.
Mayor, I can tell you that it will take several years to convince this youth, to have a change of attitude, learning that kind of vocation. Like I said, they don't want to do anything that is energy sapping. And take that. Except there is miracle somewhere.
Hello?
To convince them to change their perception.
So what do we need to do as a nation, as government, as community, as leaders, in order to bridge this gap? What do we need to do to be able to encourage younger ones? At the point Dr. Oguseson said, it's incumbent upon us to understand the fact that the white-collar jobs are no longer there. You are better served when you learn a trade, when you acquire a skill. And there's always a need for people like you. People, till tomorrow, people will continue to build houses. So they will need a carpenter. They will need a plumber. They will need a rewire, electrical. You understand? So it's always there.
It has to start from home. Parents themselves must know that, skill acquisition is the way out. There is no, like I said, there is no.
No, I mean, for parents, listen to us. Now, it is good. Everybody wants to send their words to the university.
Yes.
But why do we keep producing graduates that eventually can't even get any job? The jobs are not even there again.
Yes. Then we also have to talk to our politicians. Our politicians must also know that the only way by which we can sustain the nation, is by having,
that technical gap.
That technical gap fixed. That's one of the ways by which we can fix the nation. As we are speaking, this nation is facing imminent challenges in that regard. And the leadership must understand that. So we have to bridge that gap and ensure that
existing artisans, their generation,
the artisans
coming of age,
the artisans
they are growing old. Nobody to take the baton from them.
The artisans that I patronize, none of them is less than 55 to 60. And when they have about 3 cars and everything, you have to wait. From
the same
morning
till
evening. Because when they do this, it's when they will now come to your own.
Have time for your own.
And by the time they even have time for your own, they are weak. And they don't have any, apprentice to help them. It's a big problem. And that's why I said the leadership of this country must understand that. And the earlier they understand it, the better for us.
It's still the station room. We'll have a break. Still more after this. Stick around, please don't go anywhere.
Ìtẹ̀ méjì omi òróǹbó lẹ́mọ̀nì, ṣíbí èédú kan àti iyọ̀. kí ló ń pò pọ̀? Kí ló dé tí èédú ṣe kú gbogbo ilé báyìí?
Àpòpọ̀ tí mo fi ń fọ eyín mi ni o. Mo fẹ́ dàbí ẹ.
Gbàgbé àpòpọ̀ yìí, Pepsodent Natural Charcoal Whitening Toothpaste tuntun ni ó lò. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, jẹ́ kí eyín rẹ funfun lọ́nà àdáyébá pẹ̀lú ohun ìfọyín Pepsodent Natural Charcoal Whitening Toothpaste tuntun. A ṣe pẹ̀lú eérú àdáyébá tí ó ń jẹ́ kí eyín rẹ funfun àti omi òróǹbó lẹ́mọ́nì tí ó ń fọ eyín rẹ jinlẹ̀. Pepsodent Charcoal, eérú àdáyébá, eyín funfun dáadáa.
Ọ̀nà púpọ̀ ló wà láti fi ìfẹ́ hàn. Àwọn kan ń fi hàn ní gbangba, àwọn mìíràn ń fi hàn láì ṣe ariwo. Ṣùgbọ́n tí ìfẹ́ bá jẹ́ tòótọ́, bóyá fún ara ẹni tàbí fún ẹlòmíì, ó máa fi hàn pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ òwúrọ̀ mílìkì Peak tó rọ̀, tó dùn, tó sì ní ohun aṣaralóore. Ó kún fún vitamin, protein àti calcium tó máa mú kí o ṣètò dáadáa fún òòjọ́ rẹ. Nítorí oúnjẹ òwúrọ̀ oní Peak ní ìfẹ́ oní Peak.
Peak. Reach for your peak.
Moves must be made. My people just to work hard. Dreams and challenges motivate us. But sometimes, when the journey gets tiring, all we need is something to push our limits.
Yeah, reactor. Ignite your energy. Bring out your inner champion. Every reactor. Reactor. Ignite your energy. Bring out your inner champion.
Have you ever noticed how you're always reaching for the next thing? You're not just saving, not just spending, not just planning. You're growing your dreams because deep down, you were built for growth. And when every stage asks more of you, you need more than a bank, a loan, or facility. You need a partner with all financial solutions working together for you. So, wherever your growth takes you, with our range of financial solutions, rest assured that you have the support to keep growing. We are built to support you because you are built for growth. Visit www.stambicibtc.com today and learn more about our range of financial solutions.
No firewood, no charcoal. Say hello to the new, no smoky party. If you want that smoky flavor that delights your taste buds, new no smoky party, jollof, jollof. New no smoky party, jollof, smoky party, jollof.
Enjoy the new Knorr Smoky Party Jollof seasoning.
Give me no, give me smoky party jollof. New no smoky party, jollof, jollof, jollof.
Today, I'm making my mother's smoky jollof recipe. Her secret? Cook it with love. And because I love my family so much, I'm switching it up with Golden Penny Soya Oil for that wholesome goodness that my family deserves.
You too can do the same with Golden Penny Soya Oil and Vegetable Oil Refined Palm Oil. There's a size for every pocket, enriched with essential vitamins to fortify and nourish your body. Get yours at retail outlets near you. Golden Penny Oil. Eat well, live well.
American Cola, what a taste of American Cola, inspiration. American Cola, explore your freedom. American Cola, grab your so smooth. For everyone, so me, so you. Relax, make your taste buds just groove. Freedom in every sip, so choose.
American Cola. Explore your freedom.
Since inception, almost 100% of Ashesi University students have found jobs, started businesses, or gone on to graduate school within 6 months of graduation. From Accra to Nairobi, London to New York, Ashesi graduates are noticed and are leading successful careers. If you dream of a rewarding life and career, an Ashesi education prepares you just for that. Learn more about applying to Ashesi at ashesi.edu.gh. Remember, admission is ongoing.
Wọ́n tún bẹ̀rẹ̀. N ò lè ṣaláì má panilẹ́rìn lákòókò àpéjọpọ̀ ìtakùrọ̀sọ orí ìlà mọ̀lẹ́bí mi. Ó tiẹ̀ da ohun tí gbogbo wọn nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí ni mò ń sè. Ó náà ni àmì ìdánimọ̀ mi ti ṣe Maggi native jollof rice. Ìtọ́wò ẹ̀kan lásán, àròyé kankan ò sí lẹ́yìn ẹ̀.
Maggi Star tá a ṣe látara ẹ̀wà sóyà, àlùbọ́sà adùn chili àti kànáfùrù.
Oúnjẹ alẹ́ ti délẹ̀, ẹ máa bọ̀ jẹ́jẹ́ tàbí kí ẹ má wá rárá.
Maggi Star yóò sọ gbogbo oúnjẹ tá a ṣe dohun àrà ọ̀tọ̀. Yóò sì tún sọ àkókò náà dàkókò mánigbàgbé.
Today, I'm making my mother's smoky jollof recipe. Her secret, cook it with love. And because I love my family so much, I'm switching it up with Golden Penny Soya Oil for that wholesome goodness that my family deserves.
You too can do the same with Golden Penny Soya Oil and Vegetable Oil Refined Palm Oil. There's a size for every pocket, enriched with essential vitamins to fortify and nourish your body. Get yours at retail outlets near you. Golden Penny Oil. Eat well, live well.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sílé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga Al-Hikmah University àkọ́kọ́ rú ẹ̀ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà tí a mọ̀ lórí ìpìlẹ̀ ìgbàgbọ́ ẹ̀sìn Islam ní ọdún 2005. A kì í kọ́ àwọn ọmọlẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lásán bí kì í ṣe ká kọ́ ọmọlẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó ń gbéni dépò aṣáájú pẹ̀lú ìmọ̀ tó péye tó ń sọ ní di ẹni iyì ẹni ẹ̀yẹ láwùjọ. Gbogbo àwọn ètò ìgbẹ̀kọ́ wọn ní NUC fíòǹtẹ̀lù. Ilé ẹ̀kọ́ gíga Al-Hikmah ló gbapò kínní láàrin àwọn ilé ẹ̀kọ́ aládàáni ní ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara látọwọ́ Kwasima tó sì ṣe ipò kẹta ní North Central Nigeria lọ́dún 2025. Wá kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ní àyíká tó fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ètò ààbò tó péye àti àǹfààní san díẹ̀díẹ̀ owó ìgbẹ̀kọ́ tó rọrùn. Ìgbaniwọlé ń lọ lọ́wọ́ fún medicine, surgery, law, nursing, mass communication, agriculture, software engineering, accounting àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ẹ̀yin náà tètè lọ forúkọ sílẹ̀ lónìí lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára www.alhikmahuniversity.edu.ng. Al-Hikmah University Ìlọrin Nàìjíríà, learning for wisdom and morality. Olùkéde Dr. K.A. Ọládìméjì, Registrar and Secretary to the Governing Council.
wọ́n tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ n ò lè ṣaláì má panilẹ́rìn lákòókò àpéjọpọ̀ ìtakùrọ̀sọ orí ìlà mọ̀lẹ́bí mi. ó tiẹ̀ da ohun tí gbogbo wọn nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí ni mò ń sè. ó náà ni àmì ìdánimọ̀ mi ti ṣe Maggi native jollof rice. ìtọ́wò ẹ̀kan lásán ara yìí kankan ò sí lẹ́yìn ẹ̀.
Maggi Star tá a ṣe látara ẹ̀wà sóyà àlùbọ́sà adùn chili àti kànáfùrù.
oúnjẹ alẹ́ ti délẹ̀ ẹ máa bọ̀ jẹ́jẹ́ tàbí kí ẹ má wá rárá.
Maggi Star yóò sọ gbogbo oúnjẹ tá a ṣe dohun àrà ọ̀tọ̀ yóò sì tún sọ àkókò náà dàkókò mánigbàgbé.
ìtẹ̀ méjì omi òróǹbó lẹ́mọ̀nì ṣíbí èédú kan àti iyọ̀.
kí ló ń pò pọ̀? Kí ló dé tí èédú ṣe kó gbogbo ilé báyìí?
àpòpọ̀ tí mo fi ń fọ eyín mi ni o mo fẹ́ dàbí ẹ.
Gbàgbé àpòpọ̀ yìí, Pepsodent Natural Charcoal Whitening Toothpaste tuntun ni ó lò. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, jẹ́ kí eyín rẹ funfun lọ́nà àdáyébá pẹ̀lú ohun ìfọyín Pepsodent Natural Charcoal Whitening Toothpaste tuntun. A ṣe pẹ̀lú eérú àdáyébá tí ó ń jẹ́ kí eyín rẹ funfun àti omi òróǹbó lẹ́mọ́nì tí ó ń fọ eyín rẹ jinlẹ̀. Pepsodent Charcoal, eérú àdáyébá, eyín funfun dáadáa.
No firewood, no charcoal. Say hello to the new, no smoky party. Try that smoky flavor that delights your taste buds. New no smoky party, jollof, jollof. New no smoky party, jollof, smoky party, jollof.
Enjoy the new North Smoky Party Jollof seasoning.
Give me no, give me smoky party jollof.
Every year, thousands of candidates meet the requirements for a university degree. They pass, they qualify, they are ready. But not everyone gets a place. At Miva Open University, access starts with one clear principle. If you meet the requirements, you can study. It's that simple. No shortcuts, no favors, no compromise on quality. But access does not mean lowering the bar. It means removing the wrong barriers. Distance, rigid schedules, restrictions that do not serve learning. But if you are ready to learn, there is a place for you at MIVA. Over 20,000 students are already studying with us, and you can join them. Visit www.miva.edu.ng to get started. MIVA Open University is licensed by the National Universities Commission. Reach higher with MIVA.
wọ́n tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ n ò lè ṣaláì má panilẹ́rìn lákòókò àpéjọpọ̀ ìtakùrọ̀sọ orí ìlà mọ̀lẹ́bí mi. ó tiẹ̀ da ohun tí gbogbo wọn nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí ni mò ń sè. ó náà ni àmì ìdánimọ̀ mi ti ṣe Maggi native jollof rice. ìtọ́wò ẹ̀kan lásán ara yìí kankan ò sí lẹ́yìn ẹ̀.
Maggi Star tá a ṣe látara ẹ̀wà sóyà àlùbọ́sà adùn chili àti kànáfùrù.
oúnjẹ alẹ́ ti délẹ̀ ẹ máa bọ̀ jẹ́jẹ́ tàbí kí ẹ má wá rárá.
Maggi Star yóò sọ gbogbo oúnjẹ tá a ṣe dohun àrà ọ̀tọ̀ yóò sì tún sọ àkókò náà dàkókò mánigbàgbé.
Seeing loads and loads of reactions online, some couple of messages here and there. Even in the studios, somebody saying, look, when we're in school, we were asked to be taught into tech, and the best we got was to do paper mache for Lion. When government would even employ these qualified artisans to impact knowledge, carpenters, tailors. I'm aware that now that we are jettisoning the GSS SSS system, which was supposed to serve as a bridge to capture them young, drive that interest, and we are not getting it right. Somebody is also mentioning here that he believes strongly that Okada is the problem. Young people get easy money. They only need to ride Okada on a daily basis. So why would they want to go and spend, months trying to acquire a skill moving forward? Back to the gentleman before we flip. I'm looking at time to our next point of call. You want to advocate for what you think should be the best way out?
We have talked about, leadership.
Yeah. My name is Oluwatosin. I'm calling from the UK. I think one of the major problems in current youth of nowadays, they won't want to take up all these roles is because there's no dignity of labor. My dad, back in the 1980s, was a carpenter. He bought his first car from being a carpenter. Brand new Peugeot 504. Brand new Peugeot. I don't think that will happen. When there is no dignity of labor in a country, the remuneration from such trade is very low. So if you can work on if it is now, it is lucrative, I know, but compared to the other things people can do nowadays, I won't say it's lucrative. So if there is dignity of labor and then there is remuneration, if government is so decisive about it, that they pay more attention to, because these are the prime mover of the economy of the country, either we like it or not. So I think dignity of labor and remuneration from all these vocations are the major reason youth don't want to take them up. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for calling in from UK. But I tend to digress. I mean, Vincent, have you anybody involved here in building, a home of recent? Carpenter at one Ghana. Yes. I mean, POP.
Yes.
Plumber. I mean,
yes.
Today, I mean,
where
are we?
Service charge.
Service charge.
Their service charge.
I mean, bring them to come and do POP for you.
The people doing the main work, they get patchy sum. It is the contractors that make the most of the money.
Okay, I got the point. I got the point.
Appointment with the mechanic, with the tilers. You book appointment with tilers. You pay them per hour. You will be on the roll list.
The point the gentleman was trying to make.
Personally, my experience is that
tilers
they collect a lot of
good money.
Yes.
Those who fix POPs, they charge
per square meters.
They charge very well.
They charge very well.
So I do not. I'm not in agreement with his submission on that because we have a lot of artisans.
Hello?
We are patronizing, and I can tell you,
they earn good money.
They earn good money, and they live very well. Some of them have building of their own. Some of them have cars, even on their own. They come to their shop with their own cars. So that means that they live very well, and in addition, they send their children to good schools.
Hello. Hello. Good morning. You're live. Yes, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, I want to contribute to this, your program. It's very educating. I think we should not blame all this thing on government alone. Parenting, we have failed. As a father, you don't even know the right way to channel your children the way they should go. We just believe in the 4 walls of university. Okay, after the university, go and look for jobs. Even the jobs they are getting now is not even enough to feed themselves. And I have people working under me, graduated from university, and they are doing very fine. They are artisans. It depends on the kind of orientation you have, the way you train your children. If you train them the way to be education alone, they will go that direction. But if you train them that you can have alternatives, if this one did not work, the other alternatives will work. Like me now, at least I graduated from the University of Ibadan and I have my master. I cannot even do any salary job in my life. I've been working in this construction industry. Some construction industry is so wide that God can bless you without even cutting shots without even saying you want to at least do anybody, God can bless you. The consumption is so wide, and there's other area that you can also function without even going to school. And you will even find more than the people that are even collecting the salary.
I mean, sorry to butt in. I mean, from what he is saying, have we gotten to a point where, family, parents listen to us this morning? Why do you send your word to school? And you are more particular about their graduating. And eventually, after graduating, they still come back to you at home because they don't have a job. Yes. And you still have to feed them.
Yes.
But you still have to feed them.
You even know why some of the children are going back for their masters? Because there is nothing to do.
Yeah. Nothing to do.
The parents will still continue to be
further your studies.
To have additional qualifications.
Yes.
Maybe that
to bridge the unemployment gap.
And I can assure you, people that are coming from Benin Republic, from Togo to come and work in Nigeria, they are making it big.
Wow, we know.
And also,
the people we have here will just be telling you, the English they don't even understand. Just understand that the nitty-gritty of how we are supposed. Once you know it, people will be begging you for job. If you can do your POP you can do it, and if you can do it properly, your timing, you can do it properly. Any job, just make sure you are good at what you are doing. People will be begging you for jobs.
So basically,
when will you be ready to come and do my job?
Learning a trade, skill acquisition is the way for us to go now as a nation.
It's the way very good essential, sir. There's no other way.
There's no alternative.
Thank you so much, sir.
This Nigeria situation will force us to discover ourselves as time goes on.
Last. Thank you so much. I mean, Dr. Ogun says, your school, the Polytechnic, it's supposed to play a frontal role in, issues that we have. But again, I'm still more interested in that town arrangement that we're used to. Omomi, Ebami Konishe. Have you got to a point where we now believe that...
Mayor, it's as bad as this. If a child says he wants to learn, this vocation now, the parents will begin to pray and fast and cast and bind. Yes.
Hello.
Because they don't want their children to become, carpenters. They don't want them to become.
Hello. Good morning.
Bricklayers.
And you say
good morning to you, Mayor Engineer Nii here. I'm an engineer myself.
Thank you so much for joining us.
The last caller said a lot of things that are very important. We need to go to school. Formal education is very important to understand the running of the government and societal issues. But at the same time, that vocation is very important. It is the Ministry of Education, the way they are going about their policy, they should retrace this. They should retrace their steps. If you want our people to be vocationally oriented, let them have a master plan for it and follow it up. That is very important. Not to come up with mumbo jumbo policy. You do this policy today, another one tomorrow that you don't even have. You have to set up a committee to plan it for Nigerians. I'm a naval guy. Those people that taught me that build the greatest naval ship today, that is NNS Aradu. They are patricians from Hamburg in Germany. And they taught us in apprentice school in the Navy. Hardly could they speak English, but they are even you can't drive truck for them to satisfaction because they have they have the photographs of all the drawing they are going to give you. That's the kind of thing we have in Nigeria, and we should follow suit. And people should disabuse their mind of their words about this Yahoo thing. That is another thing that is ripping up of good children that can learn jobs. God bless Nigeria. Thank you.
Yeah.
Somebody is also weighing here that he believes that the solution is simple. Every undergraduate in all higher levels of education must choose a compulsory elective in vocational studies, which they must pass before they graduate. Is that the way to go?
The issue of the Polytechnic you mentioned, at least as far as I know, in my school, the Polytechnic Ibadan, we have where we call entrepreneurship center, where students will choose at least a vocation. Then, I think about 5 years ago, there is another directive from National Board for Technical Education that all technical institutions must have what we call National Acquisition Center, Skill Acquisition Center. We have it at the Polytechnic Ibadan. No student can graduate. It is mandatory. You can't graduate without having a skill acquired and pass in the examination. So that one is there. But the fact remains that this, our last caller that mentioned the issue of our education policy and things like that, we misconstrue the principles or concept of 6334. That is one of the areas of our problem. And simply because there's no needs assessment data in Nigeria as far as our training, educational training and this issue of skill acquisition and things is concerned.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Báwo la ṣe fẹ́ jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn máa mú àwọn èèyàn lọ́dọ̀ àwọn mẹ́kò, àwọn carpenter, àwọn plumber. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, I'm Pastor Femi Alabi.
Thanks so much for joining us.
On what you have discussing, sir, I want to contribute.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. This has to do with parents too. Like my own parents, we are 5 boys. And my father told us.
Hello, are you still there?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Please go.
Yeah, okay. He will tell us, my father told us, go and learn a skill. And he will always tell us in Yoruba, he will say, because of the future, go and learn a trade. And because of that, all of us, we acquire one skill or the other. And it really helped us. All my own children are graduates, and the same thing I've passed on to them. You see, if a parent, but we will see a parent, before the children get out of secondary school, we'll be telling him or her, look at your so-so brother. Look at so-so is doing this, they are doing that. So they have been into Yahoo and on all these on skills. Like you said, concerning the mechanics, my mechanic, I told you on junction here, Shegun, has a lot of apprentices, but after maybe 3-4 months, they will leave. And you see them doing all manner of junks around. So, but the politicians are giving them, they say instead of skill acquisition, they will be they're giving them Okada, go and start this, go and start that. And when others that intended to learn, when they see their other colleagues, you know what they do? They join them.
Peer pressure.
Manduro there, I knew him in 2020, about 41 years ago. Before he moved to the Polytechnic. You may not know me, but I know him very well. I'm talking about Dr. Ogunsesan. I have a colleague of his, Bratesi, Roba, and the likes then.
Right.
But it was after I saw him, he was projecting of going for higher something. I went for learning. I learned building and all these things. And
architectural drawings.
I'm a pastor, but it's still there.
You're right.
So when we encourage our children, all of them are graduates. The remaining 2 are serving now, but they have skills that if they don't have white collar job, they will embark upon. So it has to do with parents too. Imagine somebody taking his or her son to where they are learning Yahoo. Eba mi ko ni Yahoo. Eba mi ko lele. So it's just like that.
Bridging the gap, Dr. Turo. Yes. You've been called out, positively this morning.
You see, like he said, my dad did the same thing for us. After 3 years of my secondary education from Lagiru Grammar School, I went in to learn architectural draftsmanship from Alhaji Prince A.T. Laoye. The Baba is still living. Ibaluyole of Ibadan. Alhaji Prince A.T. Laoye. He celebrated 99 years in March this year. That is the man that trained me in architectural draftsmanship. 3 years, then I now got admission to the Polytechnic. Because by the time I wanted to go to school, the then chief executive of the Metropolitan Planning Authority, Tamplana Shegun Alalade, said, oh boy, don't go to university. How many universities, Harvard, Urban and Region, and town planning then? In the whole of Southwest, only 2. He said, go to Polytechnic. And that's how I went to the Polytechnic after draftsmanship. And the practical, there's nobody right from my ND1, ND2, FT, that is the full professional diploma class, 4 years, nobody in my class beat me in design.
Because of
that's why I had the United Nations Award then.
You learned from the streets.
Of course.
Final word from Dr.
And
Ibadi.
you can imagine. So the same thing he did to my junior brother when he was at this community grammar school Elewura here those days. He said, go and be learning printing machine repairs. I told you there. That was how my junior brother started. After, when he closed in the school, 2 o'clock from Elewura here, he will go to Oje and come back home around 7:30, 8 in the evening. Can you imagine? That was in the 80s, early 80s.
For us as a nation, that's the way to go. Vocation, skill acquisition.
Vocation
is the best.
Skill acquisition is the way to go. Like my own
especially in the
also
construction industry.
Learn how to
There's
produce
no alternative to
liquid soap.
That.
You know, when they were with us, they learned how to produce liquid soap. You know, in addition to their education. And I know how to farm myself. Yes.
Agbe.
I know how to farm.
Do you know how to do paper mache? During time on brown mache. Paper mache. Paper mache. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be back here at the Situation Room. The news is